Welcome back, barbarians, to another Destiny 2 video. Today, I want to discuss in depth 120 round per minute hand cannons, their versatility in PvE and mostly PvP. But before we get into that, make sure to smash that like button down below. It does help me out. Leave a comment. It's going to be open for discussion as far as these weapons in their current meta and what you think of them and should they be changed and what will happen in the future. Now, just to start, what are 120 RPM hand cannons? They are hand cannons that were 110 last season, got bumped up to 120 to make this new archetype of hand cannon, and they are more viable than ever, and we're going to talk about that later on in the video. In the four we have right now are the Duke MK44, the True Prophecy, Sturm, which is exotic, and the Steady Hand, which I'm using here from Iron Banner. Now, there might be more. Those are all I can think of off the top of my head. I haven't seen any others, which is interesting because, one, the Duke is no longer in the loot pool / sunset, so it won't be in the meta as far as light-enabled activities. Two, True Prophecy they got rid of, out of the loot pool, to bring back Seraph weapons. Three, the Steady Hand is only attached to Iron Banner, which I also find really interesting. And then four, Sturm, it being the fourth one, is an exotic. So all kind of having a unique spot in like where it fits in your weapon slot. Now, just thinking through, and I did look through my inventory, I didn't have in the past or present really an energy 120, which I would really like to see. I would really like to see that because currently there's 180s galore and a few 140s for the energy slot. But I think I would love to see a 120 there in the future, and maybe next season will bring that. But currently we don't have anything like that. Now, just to start the discussion off the bat, 120s are so good in the Crucible for a few reasons, but one primarily it's the range. The Steady Hand I have here is Killing Wind, Swashbuckler with a Handling Masterwork, and I think I forget what sights I have for first and second column, etc., and barrel options, but it's the best roll I've gotten. I will be trying to get another one, a different roll next time Iron Banner comes around. But range, for sure. Range, especially on Sturm, is absolutely insane. You'll see in some clips here, I mean, no damage fall off right there on that headshot. Like, I was like 30 meters-ish away. That is very far, without any damage fall off at all, which is just crazy. Number two, they're really good is because they're so, this is my opinion, that they're so close to 140s, and yes, 140s certainly have their place right now, that 120s, for the peak shooting capability that they can damage a Guardian, it's so lethal, it's unbelievable. Peeking a corner and being able to do 90 in the head, especially combined with some other things in the game that are currently in here, as far as the sandbox and abilities, freezing targets, doing a body shot sniper and switching to Steady Hand, one with quick draw even if you had that role. There's a lot of versatility with them, and there's even more when you're talking about teammates. I'm just playing sixes here. This is control, but any damage my teammates do, I'm easily able to finish off Guardians without a problem. Another reason they're really strong in the Crucible right now is there's no, at least from my experience, there's no ammo economy issue with them. You don't really run out of ammo. Yeah, you reload, but so what? You reload every weapon for the most part. So that's never really an issue, especially it being a primary. And the things you compare it with, I think, also make it versatile. So I would love to see that uniqueness of having an energy slot weapon in the game to pair it with something different for the primary slot. But the 120s that are in the game now, all three of them that are relevant, True Prophecy, Sturm, and the Steady Hand that I'm using here in this whole video, is interesting because you compare it with, of course, Felwinter's Lie, which is very popular, but you compare it with Adored as well, a sniper. And the beautiful thing about 120s is they pair really well with both. You can pair it with a sniper, no problem, but you can also pair it with a shotgun. And because they have so much range, it makes them extremely lethal at distance, but their close range capability is surprisingly good when you're looking to take out other Guardians. Now, Sturm alone, a lot of people use it just because, one, with its masterwork, or its catalyst, excuse me, not masterwork, it boosts the range and handling quite a bit, so it has the most range. But And its perk is good. Like if you get a kill or just having Sturm out, I believe, or maybe it is kill, it'll reload your energy weapon for you. That's kind of nice. And then if you're using Drain with it, of course, you get the exotic symbiosis, I believe it's called, between the two weapons. But breaking it down, I think Steady Hand for it's legendary. It can get really good rolls. It's here for the long haul. Is the number one option. But True Prophecy, which was here, a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer now, had some more unique roles. You could get demolitionist on that. You could get rangefinder. Some things I don't think you can get on this hand cannon. So if you do have one of those, I'd highly recommend also trying out the True Prophecy, which is the future Warcall hand cannon. And I personally love like 120s in my mind are on top, but not by a ton. Granted, in trials or something like that, I think 120s are the meta hands down. But I like this meta right now, especially in Crucible, just because of how versatile other weapons feel. I don't feel held to 120s. My posterity, if I wanted to use that, and that's 180 rounds per minute, easily whip that bad Larry out and still dominate in the Crucible and not feel like I'm handicapping myself in any way against my opponent. And the same goes for 140s. Granted, 140s are a little bit unique because I haven't tried legendary ones, but you have Ace of Spades, Hawk Moon, both very snappy and feel good hand cannons in this current sandbox. Um, so you have those two options there, and really everything can play its role, and pair nicely again with a shotgun or sniper, depending on your playstyle. Now, not until I made this video did I realize like steady hands from Iron Banner, yeah, but the fact that this is the only legendary in the game you can get, and it's only from an exclusive activity, just made it kind of more intriguing slash interesting for me. It kind of gave it a little bit more value. I was like, oh shoot, that's yeah, you can only get this once every month, once every 5 weeks, whenever Iron Banner comes out, and then you have a chance to get it, and then if it's a god roll or not, or a decent roll that you'll use. And for the rest of the gameplay here, I'm not going to discuss too much more about my feelings on 120s in PvP. In PvP or PvE, excuse me, they still feel great. They're fun to use. I think there's other better options. Look at that freaking range! My God, it's like 800 meters away. This guy's still hitting. Oh my God, like that's absurd. That is absolutely nuts. So kill this invis guy. He jumps. Lol, get smacked. So before I keep rambling, I'm just going to kind of talk about my gameplay for the rest of the video. But I'm really curious what you guys think about 120s. Are they too strong? Do you have any? Do you have a True Prophecy? Do you like it? And what your thoughts are on the 120s kind of reigning supreme currently. So drop a comment below. Alright, so gameplay here. We're going to capture C. Going to kill this guy, end up trading with him. Because my shot up close to the 120 is terrible. We're double their score. Something I'm aware of in a game like this is I don't want to mercy them super fast because I want more kills. Yeah, I'm that type of player, so I'm not going to actively capture zones. For this right here, I noticed that guy there. I've got a nice comfortable spot. I'm aware that my teammates are still spawning on the C field behind me, so I don't need to be that scared. They're going to keep pushing through either this tunnel here or where I just was. So I'm going to rotate the tunnel, get a guy there. I have my super, I have ammo in both my primary and secondary. Getting a little ego heavy here. Tap that guy right in the Achilles. I'm going to push him up through the steady hand. Notice there's a couple. Good time to pop a super. Didn't really pop it great. Noticing the guy bottom left was leaving the cave. I should have gone for the guy in the back who noticed me first. Just a slight misplay there. And that guy that's just sheer bad luck. I should have shade stepped or something to the left. I could have definitely killed both those guys. I was just in the moment. I was like, oh, let's go. Didn't get it though. So, off spawn, notice a couple guys at B. Get one, pop for two. Get them off B, I believe. Rotate, watching cave. Guys absolutely just blasting through cave. That's that same Titan that's just super aggressive. And the one thing, just going back to the 120s, so thankful my teammate popped the bubble. You gotta love weapons of light. The recoil does take some getting used to. So if you're not used to shooting 120s, or you're always holding Ace of Spades or something like Sunshot or a 180 precision frame that just doesn't kick at all. The 120s are going to take some getting used to, but once you learn to control the recoil, they become so much more lethal. And the wait time, if you will, between like your shots isn't bad. Like 120s are great. And the reason, an additional reason that's kind of subtle and is like 120s to 140s, you have a little bit more time with the 120s to decide your next shot versus 140s. At least I get caught up in the game of, oh, I want to kill this first person as fast as possible, which of course is the goal. Um, but it may end up leading to missed shots, if that makes sense. And that's kind of been my thought process for like pulses over scouts too. It's like you can pulse shoot somebody with a pulse rifle or a scout rifle, and if you miss one scout shot, it's more, um, going against you than the pulse rifle. In various scenarios. All right, we're dominating here in this game. Steady hand. Once I got this roll, and really I had one with swashbuckler. I think it was swashbuckler moving target. I could be wrong, but the game changer. I mean, killing wind. It feels so good. I just whiffed so many shots. I'm gonna push this next guy. Cloud struck. Boom, dead. Um, push this Titan here, and just the 90. Like if the enemy shield. Oh, it's so frustrating getting half your super out. If half your enemy shield is down and a little bit more than that, you can one tap them in the head, and that's just like every time I do it, I'm a little bit blown away. I'm like, wow, that's gotta suck to just get one tapped in the head, and you're like a little bit above half health or half health, and you die. Um, the 120s right now, I mean, are so much fun. We can just talk about that jump real quick. But I'll let the rest of this gameplay play out here. I don't think anything crazy happens. Maybe a couple more kills. Really appreciate you guys watching. Jump into the discussion. See what you think about 120s. I'll be watching the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!